All right, we're here, 2021 RockyGrass with Tony Trischka and Bruce Molsky. How y'all doing?
Just great.
Just great. Excellent.
Are you doing great? I'm doing great.
Yeah, I'm just dandy. Thank you.
Yeah, talking to Mike.
So, y'all have been here all week at the academy, teaching at the academy?
Yeah, it's been a wonderful experience. We had a lot of people really keen to learn their instruments, and really interesting day watching this transform from a pastoral quiet website into the controlled pandemonium of a beautiful festival.
Right, yeah. And Bruce, were you teaching fiddle at the academy?
I was teaching fiddle, yes.
Okay.
Old-time mountain fiddle.
Very nice. And Tony, how's the academy for you?
It was great. They have 3 instructors, and they switch. They have BB Bowness and Greg Cahill and me, and everyone gets 2 hour and 45-minute classes with each of the professors. So we try not to contradict each other as much as possible, which almost happened once, almost led to fisticuffs. But anyway, no, it's really fun, and the people are serious. They really are serious about learning, and they're not goofing around, and so it was really good.
And it's all levels. It's beginners through advanced.
Yeah, it's novice, intermediate, and advanced.
Right. And
Yep.
do both of you teach all the levels? Do you bounce around?
Yeah, each instructor gets a couple of sessions with students from each level. They stay in one place and we visit.
And isn't there a concert with the instructors at the end of it? Am I wrong or no?
Well, there's a couple of concerts during the week in the mornings to introduce the students to the various bands and individual teachers.
Okay.
So it kind of happens over the course of the week.
All right. Cool. Yeah, I've never done the academy, so I've been interested in it, but it's a great experience, I bet.
You should learn banjo. Oh, never mind.
So y'all are playing together tomorrow, right?
Correct.
Tell us about the group and what the whole concept of this is.
I just came up with a new name for it yesterday, Blue Old Time Grass. I didn't tell you about that, did I?
You did not.
No, it's Bruce and myself and Michael Daves, who's this incredible guitar player and singer.
Definitely,
And it is kind of a combination of old time and bluegrass. And a lot of instrumentals, fiddle tunes, but a lot of great singing with Bruce and Michael, too.
It's a nice. I love it for a lot of reasons.
Right.
And maybe one of the biggest ones is that it's turning out to be. First of all, it wasn't meant to happen, which makes it great. And second, it's a really nice confluence of what bluegrass and old time music seem to have in common. And I think it's time for that in the kind of big pantheon of the world of traditional music. You know, so much of, and I learn a lot about bluegrass every time I come here because I'm not from that scene, but just seeing how much overlap there is between the tunes and the attitude and the purpose of the music to bring people together and the performance aspects, it's great and an honor to play with Tony and Michael for sure.
Yeah, and the same playing with Bruce and Michael. And we're all good friends, too, which is really obviously one of the nice things. And because for so many years there's been this mutual suspicion between bluegrass players and
Right.
old-time players, and so we're hoping to put that to rest
To bed,
with this
yeah.
band. I mean, it's not our stated intention, but hopefully that will grow out of that.
And you two probably have both from the New York area, so you probably have known each other for a while.
We've passed like ships in the night for decades, and every once in a while we've ended up in the same place at the same time, and more over the last few years. So we kind of grew up around the same scene.
And have y'all recorded together before?
I've recorded. This band hasn't recorded per se, but Bruce and I had this group called Jawbone, and there were 3 of us in the group, and Paula Bradley was also in the band, and we recorded one song on my Territory album, and I played some clawhammer banjo, and Bruce did some, and he made me sound much better than I actually was. So anyway, I'd written a couple of tunes, and I think I wrote both of them or whatever, and so we did that. So that's the only recording we've done.
Right. It sounds killer. I mean, I know Michael Daves put up a recording of y'all just, I guess, at the house or something. At the video, and it hooked me. I immediately went and got my banjo and went to go play along. It's a great that, I love old time music. I love bluegrass, and the the blend, it really works well.
When it works, it really works.
Yeah.
And I mean, to me, we practice, we have our arrangements and everything, but when the music is in the moment and you just give yourself to it, I mean, it feels really good. This feels like a good combination of people.
Yeah, and Bruce's bowing arm is just so powerful, and the groove is so deep. It's a different groove than bluegrass, but when you just lock into that, it just propels you along. And the video you're talking about is a tune called Salt River, which is the most fun, just about the most fun you can possibly have playing music. It's just a joy.
Yeah, you can feel it from all of y'all. You're just watching that video. It's great.
Yeah.
Have you been here to RockyGrass before, Bruce?
This is my third time here.
Okay.
I've been taught at the Academy a couple of times. I was here one time with my own trio, Molsky's Mountain Drifters. And then the time before that, it was with a project that banjo player Jamie Stone was doing.
Yeah.
The Lomax Sessions project.
Right.
And with a slate of great musicians, and it was just collaborative music that just happened that one time and was over, which is something that we love doing too, you know.
Yeah. Well, RockyGrass is like such a great festival, so laid back, and the venue's so beautiful. But what are some things you both love about RockyGrass, because you've both been here, you know?
Well, the terrain's unbelievable. I'm just looking at this rock escarpment here and the river here, and I was, my wife and I came here with our kids a number of times 15 years ago, and they did the Kids Academy, which is a wonderful thing that they teach kids about bluegrass early on. And just the staff is great. Steve Szymanski, who runs things, is just absolutely wonderful, and they'll do anything to make you comfortable and keep you happy, right, as opposed to the Best Western I've been. Oh no, never mind. That's another conversation. And there's something called Coleman Square here in the campsite, which is like, wow. You know, after a long day teaching in the hot sun, you go over there, and they've got a mixologist over there, and they feed you well, and just the whole thing is such a wonderful package.
Nice.
Yeah, it's same. It's really inclusive, which I love. As far as the academy goes, you know, I always tell my students, don't worry about trying. This is the place where you try things. You know, what happens at RockyGrass Academy stays at RockyGrass Academy. And but it's also, of course, I live in a really beautiful place. I live in the Hudson Valley in New York, and it's gorgeous. We have mountains, we have terrain. This is a completely different terrain and beautiful in so many different ways. We got the river right next to us, and watching people go down in inner tubes during the day. It's just kind of lifts you up.
Yeah, totally. Well, what time are y'all playing tomorrow for people listening on a live stream of the festival?
2:00 p.m. Mountain Time.
Okay.
And yeah.
And then we're doing a thing with Michael Daves. He's doing his own show right here at the Wildflower. Yeah, and I don't know if that's streaming or not. I'm not sure. It's at 5 o'clock, and it's the music tomorrow. And he's working on this project, Music from Atlanta. He's from Atlanta originally, and Bruce spent some time down there. But it's tunes from the 20s and 30s, and much more recently too, and a couple of folks who were his mentors also, who had written some amazing tunes. So he's saluting the music of Atlanta, and there's some really great tunes that are totally obscure that people don't know. And he put a really good band together. So yeah, and cool. Bruce and I are part of that.
Be happy to. I can check that one out because it's right here, so it'll be nice.
Great. You'll probably hear it whether you want to or not. We're right next to the pavilion.
And do y'all have any plans on recording the trio?
You know, the word recording has surfaced in conversations from time to time, and I would like to, but it's a definite maybe, I'd say. Yeah. It's a conversation that is starting.
Well, you know, let us know. Everybody would love to hear it, I know. So.
Yeah, and we're starting to get people. Again, this was just sort of, hey, you want to play together? And this sort of just fell together. It was never, let's put a band together. Let's do a show. You know, it's not like that. And it's just sort of grew organically, and now we're starting to get festival offers, and people seem to like the idea. So
that's great.
And we do too. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming by, and I really look forward to hearing you play.
Thanks, David. Really appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks a lot, man. Nice to see you.
Great to see you.